Most people think memory works like a filing cabinet. You store something and later you retrieve it. But memory doesn't actually work like that. When you learn something, your brain forms a pathway, a pattern of connections between neurons. Remembering isn't retrieving a stored copy, it's about reactivating that neural pathway and reconstructing the memory by firing the same circuit again. Now, when you reconstruct a memory, your brain doesn't use the same process every time. It depends on what kind of system it is and which brain systems are involved. Declarative memory is for facts and concepts, knowledge you can describe. It relies on the hippocampus, which acts like an index binding memory elements together. When you recall something declaratively, you're actively reconstructing it by using context and meaning. But these connections weaken quickly unless revisited, hence the steep drop-off in the forgetting curve. On the other hand, procedural memory is for skills, things you do rather than explain. It's built more slowly through repetition and feedback, and stored in deeper brain structures like the cerebellum. It tends to fade less, but you will degrade in fluency. You won't forget completely, but you'll feel a bit rusty, and maybe you'll be slower or less efficient. What this means is that simply going over your notes just won't cut it. Let's say you're rereading something. It probably feels familiar, and so you might assume that you've learnt it. But that feeling of familiarity is misleading. It's recognition, not recall. Recognition is passive. The information is cued by what's in front of you, like phrases or heading you've seen before. Your brain can respond because the start of that neural pathway is activated, but it isn't activated by you. Recall is different. It's active. You have to fire that neural circuit yourself without prompts. And unless you can do that, the knowledge isn't reliably stored. This is why effective revision often feels uncomfortable. When recall is effortful, when you hesitate, strain, and almost forget, that's actually a good sign. It means that your brain is doing the hard work of reconstruction, and each time it succeeds, the connection gets stronger. This is called the desirable difficulty principle. It's the idea that challenge strengthens memory, not ease. Forgetting too is often misunderstood. We should try to stop seeing it as a failure and instead see it as a signal, because when something starts to slip, that's your window. It's when the memory is weak enough that recalling it will strengthen it, but not so weak that you have to start from scratch. Revision at this point does far more work than reviewing something you feel completely confident with. Timing is key for memory strength, but so too is how the memory is stored. That's where elaboration comes in. Your brain stores new information by linking it to what you already know. The most effective links are stable, well-used pathways, things your brain activates regularly. By anchoring new material to familiar ideas, you make it easier to find later and so harder to forget. Elaboration means going beyond surface repetition. Can you explain it in your own words that you often use? Can you connect it to a vivid example, an image, or a personal experience? Each link adds another route to the same memory, and the more paths you build, the more resilient the memory becomes.